Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Mr. Variety Gamer. So yesterday there was this video that was released from IGN, from, I don't know, unknown developer, I don't know yet. It's just titled Unrecord or Unrecorded, and it already got 1 million views. And according to the description, according to what the IGN is saying, this is a real engine, computerized, animated, graphics enhanced gameplay. Now I've been looking at this video, and it is kind of hard to tell if it's graphics or if it's real, because they used a lot of filters. Like when we go through this video, I noticed that there's a lot of filters. That they use a lot of VHS blurriness, so it's looked like a digital camera. They also used a lot of exposure on the brightness, and they used a fisheye camera. They kind of wanted to make it look like a police body camera. So when a person is walking, you can see it in a POV perspective. And I get it. They use all those filters. But I would like to see a demo of this. Release the demo so we can try it. I want to turn off the filters. I want to be able to turn off the filters, and I want to see how this game is without the filters and how the graphics look without the filters. So I'm a bit skeptical. I'm not buying like 100% into this, but from what I have seen so far, it is graphics, but there's a bunch of filters used on this. I also believe that they used a motion capture, that they pre-recorded the motion capture on different moves. So that way, when you control the character, those moves are already coordinated. So that way, your character in the game already knows what to do to check his buddy camera, to check the microphone, to point the gun and all that. So I believe it's real, and I don't think IGN would lie about it. I don't think IGN would put something fake that it's not real. Why would they want to jeopardize and getting a backlash? That would be a big no-no to the IGN. Why would they want to do that to themselves? Unless they want to get some attention. But they're already big. They got, 13 million subscribers. They already got plenty of attention. I think this is real, but there's definitely a lot of filters being used here. So anyway, let's go watch this, and we'll talk about it. Because a lot of people said, why is the quality so blurrish? That's because they use the filters, I believe. I am actually watching this on a 1440p, and I can see some textures being soft when you kind of look closer, but they did that to keep the frame rate going. Remember, that's why they're using these filters, I believe, to keep the textures soft, so that way they can have a much smoother performance. If they had textures at like a very high detail, then this would not be able to go this smooth, I believe. So I think that they're using a lot of filters. And that's okay, I have no problem with this, but it does sacrifice the visual fidelity. It looks real when you're looking at it from afar. It definitely looks real. And look, filters, no filters. This is a big step forward, guys. Imagine playing Call of Duty like this. Imagine how immersive the Call of Duty is going to be like this. Imagine Call of Duty in the PlayStation VR 2 like this. Talk about total immersion, dude. Imagine that immersion, like when you put on the PlayStation VR 2 headset and you play Call of Duty like this. Or imagine playing this game on PlayStation VR 2 and how real and realistic that's going to look. But this is real in terms of graphics. It is computer generated. I'm guessing they're probably using Unreal Engine 5.1, because that's the latest one. That's pretty high end. Unreal Engine 5.1. But then again, they're using a bunch of filters. There's definitely filters here. I can see the filters. Everybody's saying, why isn't the image more sharper? And that's my question too. Why isn't the image more sharper? That's because they're using a lot of filters, a lot of exposure on the bright contrast levels, so that way the ambient occlusion looks much brighter. They probably cranked up the exposure to the maximum. That's why the bright white levels are so overblowing. And I get it. They're doing this to make it look like a body camera. So when the police officers, you know, when you see those police officers take down the perp or whatever criminal they're dealing with, and they're having a shootout, it looks like the body camera, you know, perspective, basically. But make no mistakes, this is a real gameplay. This is not some pre-recorded footage, okay? It's definitely not. This is a real enhanced gameplay with graphics, and they are just using a bunch of filters. Now, why does it look so real? Why does the movements look so real? The movements look real, in my opinion, because they already done a motion capture with probably a real police officer or real soldier or special forces guy. So they had somebody come in and do this, you know, properly and realistically. And they recorded the many motion, like, for example, Callisto Protocol. Look how many motion captures. Everything, the entire game was done in a motion capture. The entire game was done motion capture. Look at The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. The entire game was done in a motion capture. That's why it looks so real. That's why the movements look so real. So the movements, that it's not like something that I'm like, ooh, how did they do that? That's easy. That's a motion capture. Motion capture has been around now, and it's so enhanced. Everyone's pretty much using it. But the graphics, this is the graphics, and they're using a computer-generated enhanced graphics here, and they're being rendered. The textures are being rendered. The ambient occlusion is being rendered. But I think textures are probably toned down to medium, so they can keep the frame rate going. And that's why they use a lot of filters, like a blur effect, some other filters to make it more, to cover the textures. I think the textures are really soft in this game. If you were to remove the filters, I think you would notice that the textures are really soft, because that's like the only way they can get the steady frame rates in this game. But look, even with the filters on, I can still play. Dude, I would still play this like this. Are you kidding me, dude? I would play the entire Call of Duty like this. I would have no problems, dude. I would get myself a 1440p monitor, something smaller, and it probably looks sharper if you're playing on a smaller monitor. Remember, if you're playing on a bigger monitor, it's going to look a little bit more blurrier. If you're playing it on a smaller monitor, the more condensed pixel ratio is, it's going to look much sharper. So yes, this is real. There's no doubt about that. So this is my honest opinion on it, on this 10-minute video. This is real. I don't think IGN would release something fake and phony. So this is real, you know. So that's my final conclusion. And this shows you how far the technology has really advanced. And imagine like 10 years from now, where we're going to be in terms of graphics. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.